Listen, I need everybody who lives in Patterson tomorrow to show up at 11 a.m. in front of the management office. For people to be coming out here because there's no water in their apartments. Basic necessity. A basic need in New York City that if you take the train 15 stops down, you're in the richest part of the country. There's no reason why our people here at Patterson houses don't have water, and no reason why they have to come to the fire hydrant to get water. We don't live in a third world country. We live in New York City.
You know, despite a number of health initiatives, the Bronx has been ranked the most unhealthy county in New York.
I was there many times, right? It's like you try and you fail and then you give up. And then you come back later and you try and you fail and you give up. And you do it again.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Clarisa Alayeto, youth development professional, founder of Yo That's Peace. Today is my first day broadcasting, and I'm glad to be sharing this with you.
South Bronx, Clarisa Alayeto. We all out here trying to get to know her a little bit better.
In 2011, a young boy was killed in the back of my building, and I knew his mom knew me, you know, growing up in the community, and I said, you know, enough is enough.
I spent most of my childhood years playing basketball right across the street from my building. It was known as Patterson Square Garden. Probably the only girl playing ball, or one of three that played with the guys and was respected. This is the place I could go when I used to say, "Mott, can I go outside?" And she'll say, "Yeah, right to the basketball court where I can see you," because our window was here. This is my building, and our window faced the basketball court. And anytime she didn't see me in this area, it was over.
Did she tell you everything she did that I busted her for? How I caught her one time, hooky playing. Did what I could for her. I called the school every week to make sure that she went to school. Check on her attendance every week, like clockwork.
You must be starving. My parents were immigrants from Cuba. They settled here in New York City. And my grandparents ended up raising me.
Someone asked me today, did your grandmother prepare you to take care of her? No. And I said, the only preparation you gave me was lots of love, and tough love too. That one time I cursed and my grandmother chased me down this house. Or how about when you put the dishes? What happened when I left the dishes in the sink?
I put them all in your room dirty. You shouldn't have been in the sink.
Then she gained weight, and I was on her case about that forever.
I was just too big, always exhausted. Diabetes was a disease that plagued my family. My dad, he was diabetic. I saw my grandfather go into diabetic comas. I would say, you know, I'm gonna eat salad for lunch or be a little more conscious of what I am eating. My best friend and I would sit here and we would eat Chinese food. We would eat our dollar sandwiches, would drink juice, quarter waters of juice with just artificial sugar and some food coloring. I just wasn't seeing results, and I was just like, I'm gonna go to the doctor and check my health out. I went to the doctor, did the physical, and he's like, you're diabetic.
Hi, Mom. No water. I came to check to see if you have water.
Every day, sometimes 4 and 5 times a day, check up on her to make sure she was good. And so every time I was here, someone would tell me about an issue, you know, my sink, the ceiling, the baby, the mold.
Growing up in the poorest congressional district in the country, not having access to healthy foods, trying to stretch every food stamp dollar that you have amongst 5 other siblings plus parents. So it's hard to have access to food that's healthy, and that's the bottom line. Right now, for the first time ever in my life, I'm going to be testing my sugar level with a machine. I never thought that it would get to this, so I have to stick myself with this.
I kept saying to myself, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this, and not only for myself, but I want my grandmother to know before she goes that I'm okay. I knew what the issue was. I was a huge soda drinker. I cut it out. I was like, I'm not drinking soda and Snapple anymore. I'm gonna just drink water. And I realized that I felt different just by drinking water. And so I added a little more to my health regimen, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat differently. And so I would go to the gym and get on the treadmill, and the treadmill was so boring, and I was like, this is not working, but I gotta keep pushing, right?
Man, I'm sweating and I'm not even at the gym yet. But I guess this is my warm-up, right? Anyway.
All of a sudden, I was looking in the spin class and I was like, that looks really fun, but I'm intimidated. I started spinning and I grew this love for spin. Try and you fail and then you give up. And then you come back later and you try and you fail and you give up. But you do it again. I started losing weight, dropping on average somewhere between 8 and 10 pounds a month.
I'm out here grinding on the Stairmaster, putting in work.
Running was something that was growing here in the Bronx. I was starting to see running groups and Black and brown people, Latinos, who were running in the Bronx. And I'm like, wait, like that's a thing? And so I just started running 1 mile. Then I started running like 2 miles. And I was proud of myself. Now I'm like, I want more of this. There's this program coming up. It's a 16-week program for people who want to run the marathon. I signed up and I was like, this is happening. I'm running the marathon, I'm training for it. All of this while I'm in this relationship, I'm super in love, and my grandmother's really sick. That was hard.
Gotta do this. Gotta do what I gotta do.
I went to the doctor with my grandmother, to her cardiologist. The doctor says, you know, I want to tell you the issue is that she has cancer and that the cancer is spreading. There's nothing that we can do about that. And so I asked the doctor, I said, well, what are you saying to me? And she says, you know, she doesn't have long. And so I said, well, how long do you think? And she says, I would say 6 months.
5, 6, 7, 8. Fly me to the moon.
And let me live among the stars.
We took a cab ride home. And in that cab ride, you know, she kind of leaned over to me and she says, well, you know, I knew this was coming. And she says, but do you think I'll be here for the block party? And the block party, I'm saying, this is all you're thinking about. Here I am, you know, thinking about, okay, how is she feeling right now? She's probably super sad, I don't know. And she's thinking about this block party that she, you know, she kind of lived for. I said, you know, don't fight it. You know, if you are ready to go and you're tired, you can go in peace. You know, I'm good, because she worried so much about me. And I told her, I was like, I'm good, I'm okay. You've given me everything. And so, you know, she passed away, and I'm sad, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for her. You gave me everything that you could, every tool that you had. And I can't be selfish, right? Like, I wasn't crying. I was taking everything in, like, you can go in peace. Now I don't want to train. I don't want to do anything. I said to myself, and I would say, like, I still have to do this. I have to do this. So the last couple weeks, it was just trying to get myself to this place of, you're gonna run 26 miles. You're gonna do it by any means. You're gonna run this marathon.
The day of the marathon, like, I was pretty sad because we're always together. So she left like at 5 in the morning, and I was like, I hope she's okay. I hope that nothing happens to her.
Say something for Titi. Good luck.
I got there and my team was there and they're all revved up, and in my mind I'm like, I'm so not ready for this.
Squad. All right.
Yes.
Waiting to start.
We're doing it.
That's right.
You heard the shot. It was time to go, and it was happening. I was running the marathon. I was feeling really good, and I was like, you know, pace yourself, go slow. At mile 10, I caught one of the worst cramps ever. My toes were like folding and I couldn't separate them, and it was slowing me down, and I was like, this can't be happening at mile 10. I was like, Grams, you gotta carry me through this. You gotta help me get there. Like, I'm talking to her, I'm like, I know you see me. I know you're probably saying, I don't know who told you to sign up for this, but, you know, so I'm asking her, like, you gotta help me, you gotta carry me there. But I kept thinking about mile 20, and I was like, whatever I do, I've got to get to mile 20. So there's no giving up until if you feel like giving up, you give up at mile 20, but you gotta make it to mile 20 because everyone is waiting for you. Marielle's calling me, she's like, babe, are you okay? Because I didn't know that at mile 18, it stopped tracking me. I don't know what happened, but no one can see. They're like, did she collapse? People are super nervous now, like what happened? So I'm getting closer, and then when I get to cross that bridge into the Bronx, that was like a triumph within itself. When I get to 138th Street where they see me, I can't even explain, like I get goosebumps thinking about just seeing like my family, my friends, my colleagues, and the sound of that cheer when I got there was crazy.
This room is a mess.
I went from being someone who didn't really like exercising to now someone who loves it and wants to like share that experience in my community here in the South Bronx and have some free classes.
Speed that walk, no gaps. Let's go, hustle.
In those 3 years, I've lost a total of 106 pounds complete. I'm no longer diabetic. I feel more productive at work. I feel more active, more motivated. I feel great. It's like getting ready to give in the apartment and like, it's tough. The only room you know that was the same for 30-something years. All my life, this was my room. I shared this room with a lot of people. My mom, she took in a lot of people.
This was my grandparents' bedroom. So still holding on to her glasses, you know. I don't want to give those up. But there was so much. There was 50 years of things in this apartment. She had 50 years in here. And I shared more than half of those years with her, so, in here. I kept this t-shirt. This is her t-shirt that my uncle gave to her, and she would wear this around the house all the time. I just smell it. And it still smells like her. Like I sit in this corner, sometimes I come here by myself and I sit here because this is where she sat. It's a lot, you know. I think about like the opportunities that, you know, because of my grandparents I've had. The discipline, the structure, the exposure. I'm so grateful for that. After my grandmother died, it's hard to come back right now, but I'm coming back little by little. You know, it's a community that I'm gonna carry on my back for the rest of my life. You know, whatever I could do for Paterson, and as far as I go in life, Paterson will always be a place that I take with me and make sure that, like, I do for the community what people have done for me. I want to be, you know, that mentor, that example for young people to know. Just all you have to do in life is just be a good citizen and be compassionate.